We are back with another video, and yes, you guys have guessed it, another differential challenge video. Me versus Tyrone versus you lot in the comments. So let's get started. Okay, so Tyrone, you've gone with a Newcastle man. I've gone with a Newcastle man. I've gone with a fullback surprisingly, and you've gone with a centre back. You've gone with Tiao. Explain your thinking.
Yes, first of all, my thinking on Tiao is that at the moment he seems to be the defender that's regularly starting for Newcastle. I think the more games he plays, the more he's becoming a more established starter. So when you've got Botman and you've got Shaw at the moment rotating a little bit, I'd rather go with the safer pick. Tiao's quick. He's got the physicality as well. He's comfortable on the ball. And I think he's becoming sort of one of them little gems for Newcastle that is becoming a solid, permanent fixture in that team. And we know Newcastle obviously knocked out Tottenham in the Carabao Cup. Shaw got the goal from the set piece. But we know that Tiao can also potentially be a threat from there. We're seeing the XG obviously is higher than Trippier's. The XA is obviously a bit less. DEFCON 8.76. That shows that he can have the opportunity in some games to get DEFCON. And probably away from home, where Newcastle might be tested a bit more, you have more of a chance of getting DEFCON. So I think at the ownership of 0.4, guaranteed to start. Newcastle are very good in terms of their team defensively, top 3 in the league. I think he's a good pick and something that's different to FPL owners.
You know what? I really, really like this pick. And this is like a serious FPL pick. Because even last week, when I was thinking, should I take Anderson? Tiao was one of the contenders I was thinking about bringing in. So that's a brilliant pick. So I'm not going to complain. I've gone with Trippier. And listen, it's a difficult one, isn't it? Because obviously, he's not going to hit DEFCON. He's not really on set pieces now that Tonali's taking them kind of thing, isn't it? But I just thought West Ham are so poor in the air. Could you see a Trippier cross, a Walter Mud header?
Yeah, you could.
Exactly.
You really could. You really could. And I think that's what you've got the attacking side of where we're looking here. Both are good picks. Trippier is more from the crossing outlet. Tiao's more from arriving in the box and hopefully getting on a corner or a free kick. We've both got opportunities to get something offensively, and then if they get a clean sheet, they both get that. So it could come down to
it's going to
come down to an attacking return. Yeah,
it's going to be tight. The only reason I leaned towards Trippier was Carabao Cup, Kraft. I think that's how you pronounce it. Starting at right back. Trippier came on, so I was like, okay, Trippier is definitely starting at right back, and we know Newcastle are really lacking in that fullback era right now. Dan Burn's playing left back, for example. So
I was like, Livermento's out.
Let me go with Trippier. You go with Tiao. It's a great battle. Listen, if there's any other defenders that you lot think, let us know down below. And I want to give a special shout out to someone in the comments who said Mukiele the last time we done a differential video. And in that week, Mukiele got a 17-pointer. So congratulations to him. And like, we have to clap our hands. That is amazing. So if you guys want a shout out in the video, make sure you guys comment down below the best differentials for this week. But anyway, let's head over to the midfielders. Okay, so with midfielders, tired. This is very, very cheeky. Very cheeky.
Less than 10%, I'm seeing.
It is less than 10%. But in terms of engaged FPL managers, seems like most people have saw. But anyway, I'm going to let you have it because we did say the rules are less than 10%. Explain your thinking.
Look at last night. The impact he's having for that team since coming back from injury. Destroyed Liverpool. 2 well-taken goals. Mateta coming back into a little bit of form because Mateta's XG has been high, but he's just not been converting the chances. Now it looks like Crystal Palace is starting to tick again. Adam Morton back from injury as well. And they've got a Brentford team at home. And I think Brentford are still adjusting into their play under Keith Andrews. Very much a defensive team, hitting teams in transition. Can Palace unlock the low block of Brentford? That's going to be the interesting part. If Palace score early, they can score a few goals. If Brentford are able to frustrate, then it could become a difficult game for Ismail Assar. But I think if, Palace are to score, I always feel like it's either Munoz, Mateta, or Sarr involved in the goal. One of the 3 will be involved. And I'm hoping this week it's Sarr. I think he's someone that I'm even looking at bringing in potentially into my normal FPL team. Not even just as a differential, but looking at Crystal Palace's fixtures. I think him and Mateta are people that people to target. But yeah, I'm going to go with Sarr coming in off the confidence of the Carabao Cup game, always involved in that number 10 role, gets in the final third. What's not to like? Gordon, maybe.
I've gone with a proper differential. Let's say Anthony Gordon. Listen, none of this cheating with Sarr. Yeah, Anthony Gordon. Listen, he hasn't scored so far in the Premier League, which I think is a massive, massive surprise. But he's got 4 goals in the Champions League. He's one of the top scorers there. Plus, we know Anthony Gordon is still first choice penalty taker for Newcastle. He has different routes to points. And I just think, listen, West Ham, I think, are worse at home. Because I feel like London Stadium, the atmosphere is very, very bad at that football club right now, isn't it?
Yeah.
And they haven't won a game so far there. I think the fans will kind of get on top of them. I feel like this is a brilliant opportunity now for Newcastle to hit West Ham for 3 or 4 in this game.
Yeah.
Because I don't think Newcastle's attack has fully clicked in terms of like the high expectations they have, like in comparison to our season, for example, isn't it? So I thought this is a brilliant opportunity for Anthony Gordon. Listen, we know he can score goals. We know he can get assists. Form is temporary kind of thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
If he scores, then everyone's talking about how Anthony Gordon now is the man of form. Another thing as well with Gordon, by the way, he didn't start yesterday in the Carabao Cup. And obviously, we know Gordon's minutes haven't been, let's say, the most secure. He keeps getting that 60th, 70th minute sub. So I feel like him coming on quite late yesterday in the Carabao Cup should mean he gets good minutes, hopefully, against West Ham. And
you'd want at least 70 minutes.
Yeah, I think 70 minutes is enough to cause West Ham a lot of damage, kind of thing, considering how bad they've been in it.
Yeah.
Anyway, listen, those are our midfielders. But before we get over to attackers, make sure you guys like the video. Because I always forget to ask for likes. So make sure you guys do it. Otherwise, I'll be angry. But anyway, let's get over to the attackers.
So now we're on to the attackers. And this is such an interesting matchup. We've got Watkins, we've got Welbeck. Welbeck at home to Leeds, but Watkins, even more importantly, away at Liverpool, who have been struggling and have just been knocked out the Carabao Cup, as we said, by Crystal Palace. But Watkins himself hasn't been firing this season. So why have you gone for him?
See, Ty, this is a very, very difficult one. Because I was actually thinking Watkins for, let's say, an Aston Villa attacker, or Morgan Rogers in midfield, who I think has been a bit better. But I went with Watkins. First of all, Konate and Liverpool defensively as a whole haven't been nowhere near good enough. I think Liverpool struggle at defending transition so much in it. And Aston Villa's form over the last couple of games has picked up.
Yeah, they've won 4 of their last 5.
Watkins hasn't got the goals, but if you're looking at overall, his record against Liverpool hasn't been horrible. They're bigger games. Think about it. What's Watkins good at? Stretching teams. I just thought stylistically, this matchup makes so much sense for Ollie Watkins to get himself a goal, get himself an assist. Because I'll be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if Aston Villa continue this Liverpool bad streak. Because as I said to you before, when the teams are in this like bad run, Manchester City had it last year, it's so difficult getting out of that run kind of thing, isn't it? So I thought Watkins, Morgan Rogers, Buendia, can they cause Liverpool problems? And the answer is yes. So I thought, you know what? Let me go with
very, very good differential. Even though his ownership is 6.9, which we always try and do, as less as possible, he still is definitely a differential because I don't think a lot of people have him now compared to how many had him at the start of the season, including me. But I think it's a very interesting pick. And, Liverpool needs to get back to winning ways. And it's one of them games where you always think, okay, well, the win's going to come this weekend because I expect them to beat Villa. But then again, it might not happen. And if Villa do score, it's likely to be something like a Watkins or a Rodgers. So very interesting differential. I've gone with Danny Welbeck, even though Danny Welbeck scored last week against United. Of course, they lost at Old Trafford. They lost in the Carabao Cup to Arsenal. But I think this game's got goals in it. I know Leeds have been quite solid since coming up to the Premier League, and I credit them. Their league position maybe doesn't reflect their performances. But I think Brighton at home, Leeds the way they like to play as well. I think it's going to be a very open game, and both teams will get chances. And if both teams will get chances, I think Welbeck will take one of his for Brighton. At the moment, when you look at Brighton's squad, Matoma was out last week. They've got quite a few injuries, Brighton. It goes under the radar. So they haven't really got the squad depth that, Herzler would want as the manager of that team right now. So Welbeck is going to have to continue to play up front. And him and Rutter could definitely cause some problems. I was going to be looking at Rutter as one of my midfielders, actually. But obviously I didn't go with him. But it was between Welbeck and him. But I thought the strikers are a bit more limited. So I'm going to go with Danny Welbeck and hope that he can get some points and get Brighton some goals.
I think our players that we picked have been so far quite interesting in terms of you've probably gone with people more informed, Welbeck, Sarr. I've gone with people that historically are good FPL assets, Watkins, Gordon, Trippier even, who haven't probably hit the same height so far this year. But as I always say, if the guy scores this game week, we're going to say they're back in full.
Yeah.
Like it's a double-edged sword kind of thing, isn't it? But
anyway, it's a big game week and it's a good game week. I kind of like these weeks. This feels like a differential week where you've got to try and find someone. And I like that. It makes it more fun for people watching and fun for people picking different players.
But anyway, listen, that's going to be the end of this video. I picked my defenders, midfielders, attackers. Ty's done the same. So it's up to you lot in the comments. Make sure you guys tell us your defenders, midfielders, attackers, below 10% ownership. So don't cheat like Ty did with Sarr, who will probably be above 10% ownership by the time the week starts.
And just can I confirm something? He says cheated, but what's the ownership on there? 9%. Back to you in the studio. Guys, I did not cheat. It's under 10%. He's just rattled that I thought of Saar and he didn't. But that's the FPL managers for you.
You know what? Fair enough. We'll see how this weekend. Make sure you guys like the video, comment your differentials, subscribe to the channel, and we will be back soon.